Hello there and welcome to the video. Today we will be doing a recap of a 2023 thriller mystery movie titled Fair Play. As the movie kicks off, we see a young couple, Luke and Emily. They are not married yet though. Luke and Emily are at a party for Luke's uncle's wedding. The place is filled up and Luke and Emily want some alone time. They find their way to the restroom where they passionately make love. Right there in the restroom, Luke proposes to Emily and she agrees to marry him. They are really excited for the future. Emily immediately breaks the good news to her mother. But Luke, on the other hand, is reluctant to share the news to anyone. The next day, the couple gets ready to go to work, and that's where we gain more insight into the actual condition of their relationship. Emily and Luke live together, but that's not all. They also work in the same firm. And this is where it gets interesting. They are forced to keep their relationship a secret because the firm they work in does not permit a romantic relationship between its staff. So because of this, they hide their relationship from their bosses and colleagues at work. Emily and Luke are nothing more than colleagues at work during the day, but at night, back at their apartment, they are passionate lovers. One day, during office hours, the company's portfolio manager starts shouting and smashing his computer angrily. He was pained because he had just been fired without any prior notice. From the looks of it, this happens often in the firm, as others who watched, including Emily, were not fazed by it. A while later, Emily overhears some big staff talking about a new replacement for the just fired portfolio manager, and they think Luke is the man for the job. Emily is very happy to hear this, and she tells Luke the news. Luke is also very happy and they go home to celebrate. Their celebration was interrupted when Emily received a late-night call from a colleague to meet up at an undisclosed location as soon as possible. Although Luke is against the idea of her going out to meet the person, Emily heads out to meet the so-called colleague. On getting there, Emily realizes that the caller is not a colleague but the boss of the firm where she works. His name is Campbell. Campbell tells her that she is going to be the new portfolio manager. Emily is shocked. All this while, she thought the management wanted Luke. Emily goes back home looking sad. She knows Luke will be pained after hearing the hears, especially now that his hopes are up. She enters the house and meets Luke waiting for her eagerly. He asked about the meeting and couldn't hide the sad look on his face when Emily told him the new update. Although it is pretty obvious that Luke is extremely disappointed, he hugs Emily and tells her that he is happy for her. To Emily, it looked like everything would be fine, but that was not the case, as this new development completely crashed her relationship. Emily finally gets the promotion and she starts noticing changes in Luke's character. He starts becoming distant and less happy. Emily is not happy to see her fiancé in this situation and she is determined to do something about it. She starts aiming for the next big promotion and tries to put Luke on Campbell's good side. She talks to Campbell about all of Luke's good qualities, his diligence, commitment, years of service, and all his hard work. But Campbell is not having it. He replies to Emily by bringing up Luke's recent slip-offs. His last one cost the firm $15 million. Emily goes back home to meet a sad and distant Luke. Luke, who was once a passionate boyfriend, was now not interested in getting intimate with Emily. All her attempts to get Luke to get in bed with her or share any intimate moment with her were met with resistance from Luke. But Luke's stress becomes bigger than his relationship with his personal life. His professional life is also affected as he now starts finding it hard to focus on work. Luke then gets a book by a business coach. It looks like Luke is trying to get his emotions in check and be a better man, a better partner, and a professional. But in reality, Luke was learning how to assert himself in the workplace and over Emily. Luke's behavior only gets a lot worse, and he starts making misogynistic comments around Emily. He also starts getting mad at very trivial things that he normally would not get angry at with rage. Because of Luke's new behavior, Emily starts spending more time with her male colleagues at work. This time, higher-ranked colleagues like Campbell. One time she was gifted a sum of $575,000 and started lavishly spending in clubs. All these make the whole situation with Luke worse, as he now thinks she's cheating on him and makes him think that she got the position because she slept with the bosses at the top. Luke starts losing his mind and starts making more poor trading decisions, costing the firm millions of dollars. Although Emily always tries to cover his tracks and make up for the money Luke is costing the company, Emily herself starts losing faith in Luke. Days later, another portfolio manager, Rory, gets sacked. Luke asks Emily to recommend him for the role to Campbell. Emily, that already knows that Campbell is even looking for ways to get rid of Luke, she hints that Campbell is not interested in promoting him. Luke then decides to take matters into his own hands and he goes to Campbell's office to beg him for the role. He gives an emotional speech and even goes down on his knees to beg, pledging his loyalty to Campbell. Campbell is not moved by any of these and he dismisses Luke. This completely broke Luke. Few days later, Emily is in a conference room with Campbell and another top boss, Paul, to pitch overseas investors. Emily has not seen Luke for a couple of days and she is worried, but she's doing her best to put her personal issue on hold so she can focus and pitch a project to the overseas investors. Then out of nowhere, a drunk Luke enters the conference room and starts to cause a scene. He calls out Campbell for denying him a promotion, and he also publicly confesses his relationship with Emily, knowing fully well that that could cost Emily not just her new position, but her entire job, as they are in a relationship. He then quits his job and leaves the building, leaving Emily shattered. We then see Emily back at home, angry and trying to contact Luke, but she is not able to. She is shocked when he hears that Luke is attending their engagement party. He made it look like nothing happened and all was good between them. She confronts him and tries to get clarity on what's going on in their relationship and their professional lives. Why is Luke behaving like he have been recently? Both of them argue in front of their families and guests, and finally opens up to Emily. He accuses her of selling her body to get to her current position. This statement hurts Emily, and she smashes it. Emily is hurt by what Luke said and she heads to a bathroom, but Luke finds her there. Once again, they start arguing, but this time, the argument turns to aggressive kissing and sex. It got too intense and uncomfortable that Emily tells Luke to stop, but he does not listen, turning the sex to sexual assault. He also violently shoves her face against the bathroom sink, hurting her. The next morning, Emily heads to Campbell's office to save her job. She tells Campbell that she never dated Luke, and he has been stalking her after she turned down his proposal multiple times so she would not violate company's policy. Campbell doesn't really believe her, but at the same time, he doesn't care. Emily saves her job and heads back home to find Luke waiting. He tells her that he would be running his own firm with the new investor that his brother secured for him. Emily is pissed at Luke's nonchalant behavior and demands an apology for sexually assaulting her. He refuses and she attacks him with a kitchen knife until he breaks down crying and begs for her forgiveness. Emily then asks him to clean his blood off the floor and leave the apartment, and the movie comes to an end. Subscribe if you enjoyed it.